Now, just to go back to the point I was making beforehand. So obviously you've seen what it was before and then after and stuff like that. So I mean, what from like the mystery era still? I mean, what from the mystery era still survives today that's usable? It's a numbers game.
Oh, a lot of it. No, I mean the numbers game survives. The problem is what happened was it what they were doing really worked well before social media. Like pickup was really effective before social media.
Is that because people didn't know about it?
No, it's because that was the most effective way. Okay, let me see if I can use an example. We'll say 05 is when things kick off with MySpace.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So before 05,
yes,
you would go out to a club, and if a girl wanted to show off her new dress, her new boobs, how hot she was, whatever, she couldn't do it on social media unless she was literally in Vogue. In the magazine Vogue, she had to go to a club. She had to go. And by her going to a club, what would happen?
Shit.
She would expose herself to more high-status men at the club, and the likelihood of those men having sex with her was much higher. Now, after social media comes out, you have some women still going out to the club for validation, but a lot of them can get validation from just posting a photo. For men, we get our validation from sex. For women, they get a validation from attention. They're addicted to attention. So that attention that they would get from a club pre-2005, they're getting it from social media. So they don't have to go out. Now, let's get to 2019, and now we got OnlyFans. Now I can get attention and money, boatloads of money. So now what you end up with is a girl who like stays at home, films content by herself at home with her dog or with her, not with her dog. Obviously, if you have a dog on OnlyFans, they get rid of your OnlyFans, by the way. I don't know if you know this. It's bestiality. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. I've had a girl tell me one time, she's sitting there in the bathtub and a dog comes up and licks her toe. OnlyFans ejected, gone, completely gone. But like she films like porn with her husband, or she films just by herself, and she never leaves the house. She postmates everything, never leaves her fucking $2 million home that she has, right? And she has a bunch of Airbnb. Tucci Cash has a bunch of Airbnbs, right? She used all her money to make that. So what's happened is now, remember, this girl, in order to get her validation, had to go out to the club. Now she doesn't. So what I have to do is I have to put up what's called a BBD, bigger, better deal, on social media, the Maxim Party, the Playboy Mansion, Bilzerian's Ignite Party, these events. And the BBD that I use on social media gets her to come out of her tunnel and come hang out with you. It's so funny because Richard Hart from Hex who said this. Yeah. I am completely convinced that really beautiful women do not go to, you never see them at Starbucks, you never see them out. And I was like, dude, you are 100% correct. Yep. The way you do it is by throwing these amazing events.
Richard Hart right again.
And the girls come out to these events like they will, again, one more time, Babes in Toyland. If you guys don't believe anything I'm saying, come to Babes in Toyland at On the Record Thursday night and tell me you don't see the most beautiful women you've ever seen in your life. And the first question you're going to ask yourself is like, where are the dudes? How come there's no dudes here? And the reason why is because it's a charity event. For whatever reason, dudes don't come to charity events. Girls come to charity. If you have an animal rescue charity, you're going to get 5 girls for every guy that show up. It's crazy. So anyway, so that's what will happen. And so you'll use the events to get these girls to come out. So that's why pickup doesn't work anymore, is because social media made it so that the cold approach stuff doesn't, like, you're cold approaching women who just aren't attractive or aren't as available. Yeah. And that's what happens. You can still go do cold approach at the mall. I don't know if you've seen this in Toronto. There's signs that literally say, approaching strangers, you will go to jail.
What?
Like, dudes are fighting against cold approach because women were complaining against it so much, because most guys who do cold approach are just bad at it, and they creep girls out. So that's essentially what happened. So what I did was, like, they were doing pickup, it's 1.0, 2.0. They're at pickup 10.0, but I've switched over to social circle 3.0. I've switched, again, they're trying to get better at riding the horse and buggy, and I'm in a Lamborghini. Like, I'm doing something, I'm into the new technology now, which is this.
Do you feel like this is like, because like one thing that I was talking to Rolo kind of in private and stuff was about is, I was asking him, do you feel like the red pill is stagnated because it's just basically become like, bitch, you're dumb because you're a girl, bitch, you're this, is because it feels like we kind of were like evolving, like, more and more things were coming out, more books. I mean, it seemed like the whole space was like, we were really learning more, and then it just kind of stopped or slowed.
Yeah, so let me, I'll give you an example. If I do a video, and the video is gain upper body muscle to get a 1.65 to 1 hip to waist ratio, and that's going, or hip to shoulder, waist to shoulder to waist ratio, that's going to make more women attracted to you. There's studies that show this. Of course. If I was going to do that, and then I told you your face starts to deform when you snore from sleep apnea, so you know that thing, tape. That thing that lifts up your nose. I mean, put mouth tape on so that you breathe through your nose. What I just gave you is fucking incredible advice that will change your life, right? And not go viral. If I had a second video, and the video was modern woman 304 feminist gets destroyed by red pill manosphere, whatever, 100,000 views, 200,000 views. The problem is the red meat, like in order for us to go viral in this space, we had to do things that were somewhat toxic. It's like, it's okay to hold women accountable. It's not okay to have an entire channel where all you do is, well, no, let me take that back. It's okay if you want to have an entire channel to hold women accountable because you can become a multimillionaire doing that. It's just, that's not what I want to do because one of the differences between like say Fresh and Fit, whatever podcast and me is that I have a coaching program and I make a money from my coaching program.
Right.
In order for me to have a coaching program, I can't keep telling you how they're wrong. I got to keep telling you what you do to be right. I got to give you good advice. And the good advice is fucking boring. It's so boring, but you will change your life. It causes you to have to do work. Fuck that. I don't want to do work. I want to watch Myron call these girls hoes. And by the way, I get sucked in. I watch that Clips channel, bro. He dunks on these, bro. It's a dunk contest. He dunks on these women. They take L after L, and I can't stop watching it. And it's made him a very wealthy man, but I can't do what Myron does. And so I need to do something different. I also can't do what Adam 22 does, where it's like super lascivious, like, how was it taking that big dick? I'm not going to do a show like that. I'm not going to do a fucking show like that. So what do? I want to be more constructive and I want to give people help. When I give people more help, again, who doesn't give people help? Logan and Jake Paul. They don't make content to like help you. They really don't. Andrew Tate does to a certain extent, but he also holds people accountable. But he says some crazy, sometimes he says some crazy stuff. For me, I want to help people. So because I want to help people, my content is less entertaining than say Pearl's is.
But where's the line? Because like even for me in crypto, I've have to turn the entertain. Because I used to do my show and it used to be much more like, hey, you guys, I'm looking at this and I'm doing this. And then I've had to turn myself up to like 12 sometimes. Shout out to the Island Boy stream. Where like I just says, all right, fuck it. I'm gonna do a fucking red meat show. Let me do something. And then it was my most fucking viral show I've ever done. Because it's like I'm talking shit, right? So where's the line? Because obviously you can't be you can't be a flat as a fucking pancake or a board or some shit, boring as fuck. Like where do you? Is it individual or is it like how infotainment do you want to be?
There are certain things where you can take some great messages out of it. Like for instance, I think the whole thing with Jonah Hill stating his boundaries. Man, if more men would just state your boundaries, you'd be so much more attractive to women. Good on him, bro. He even says.
No, I'm proud of that guy.
He even says in the message, he goes, if things like this make you happy, I support it. But maybe we're not right for each other.
Right.
Congratulate, bro. I wish you had standards like that. So Rolo bootlegged the Barbie movie. And I was like, well, if he's going to bootleg the Barbie movie, I'm going to bootleg the Barbie movie. We watched it. It was horrible. But when I watched it, there's this one part where Ken is like, fuck this. You don't appreciate me. He calls superfluous and leaves. And Ken goes off and does what a man is so fucking supposed to do. He goes and gets his own shit without her.
Right.
But you go and got your own shit. That's immature. That's deadly, bro. That's a teaching moment, though. Not that a lot of guys watch that movie, but like that's a teaching moment. But the thing that like what you're gonna get a conflation of viral and like helpful. The Logan Paul thing, that's the ultimate teaching tool of the year. Right. We won't get a better teaching tool than that. You didn't pay attention, and now your girl has embarrassed you.
Why do girls always lie about their fucking body count? Always, right? I mean, if it was like, I mean, you've said this before on streams. I've heard a lot of red pill guys say this. Is like ask your girl or some chick like how many dudes she slept with. They'll always going to lie about it, and then even when they say body count doesn't matter, they still lie about it.
Yeah, they'll lie about it and then say it doesn't matter. Then why are you lying about it if it doesn't matter? Exactly. But they'll say, well, because it matters to guys. Well, yeah, it does matter to guys. And the thing is, my response is, oh, because you're a hoe. No, that's not my response. My response is there are studies that show that as your body count increases as a woman, the likelihood of you filing for divorce increases. I don't want a woman to file for divorce against me, so I'm going to choose a woman that has a lower body count. How does that not make sense? I'm sorry. Look for the Institute for Family Studies. They'll show you a study that shows this. As her body count increases, the likelihood of her filing for divorce increases. And you might say, well, doesn't it do the same thing for men? Well, here's the reason why it doesn't. Because men aren't filing for divorce.
Right.
80% of divorces are filed by women. So it's not weird. That's not the problem. Men, you have a dude who have 200 body count. He's probably still not going to file for divorce. Right. Men filing for divorce is not an epidemic. It's not a problem. But women filing for divorce, they're going to more likely to file for divorce if they have 10 plus bodies. Yeah. That's the truth. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you what the statistics say because the statistics aren't flattering to your gender. It's not my fucking fault.